There are men who train harder. There are men who fight longer. There are men who want it more. And then there are men who become unbreakable. Miyamoto Musashi was not invincible because he was stronger, faster, or more talented. He was invincible because he lived by a disciplined code that left no room for collapse. Not motivation, not inspiration, not belief. A code, a structure so absolute that once it took hold, weakness had nowhere to hide. Most people fail because discipline depends on mood. Musashi removed mood from the equation. Most people rely on effort. Musashi relied on inevitability. This video is not about becoming motivated. It is about becoming structurally unstoppable. What you are about to hear is not philosophy for comfort. It is a system for survival, forged in isolation, repetition, and ruthless self-command. Once this code is installed, quitting is no longer a choice. Chapter 1. Discipline is a code, not a feeling. Discipline does not begin with desire. It does not begin with motivation. It does not begin with intensity. Those are modern myths. Miyamoto Musashi understood something colder, older, and far more reliable. Discipline is a code. A code does not care how you feel. It does not respond to emotion. It does not negotiate with fatigue or fear. It executes. Most people fail at discipline because they treat it like an emotional state. They wait to feel ready. They wait to feel strong. They wait to feel aligned. Musashi never waited. He acted according to structure, not sensation. This is the first and most uncomfortable truth. If discipline depends on how you feel, it will abandon you the moment feeling changes. And feeling always changes. Musashi lived in a world where hesitation meant death. There was no room for not today. No space for I'll try again tomorrow. The sword does not care about your mood. Neither does reality. So Musashi designed his life to remove feeling from the equation entirely. He did not ask himself if he wanted to train. Training was already decided. He did not debate whether to endure hardship. Hardship was expected. This is what made him invincible long before he ever lifted a blade. His discipline did not rise and fall. It persisted. Modern people believe discipline is about strength. Musashi knew it was about design. Strength fades. Design remains. You can overpower yourself for a day, maybe a week, but you cannot overpower entropy forever. Musashi did not rely on force of will. He relied on inevitability. Every day followed a structure so precise that deviation felt unnatural. This is the essence of a disciplined code. A code is written once, then followed without discussion. Once the rules are set, the mind stops arguing. This is why Musashi's discipline appeared effortless to others. Effort is the sound of internal conflict. Where there is no conflict, there is silence. And in silence, action flows. Most people sabotage themselves before they even begin. They ask questions like, do I feel like it? Is this the right time? Should I rest today? Do I deserve a break? Musashi removed the right to ask these questions, not because he was harsh, but because he was precise. Precision is mercy to the mind. Indecision is cruelty. Every unanswered question drains energy. Musashi conserved energy by eliminating ambiguity. He understood that clarity is the foundation of endurance. This is why his discipline did not break under pressure. Pressure exposes flaws in design. Musashi's design had none. He trained when tired. He practiced when bored. He repeated when progress felt invisible. Not because he enjoyed suffering, but because the code demanded consistency. And consistency compounds silently. Most people chase peak states. Musashi built a stable baseline. Peak states collapse. Baselines endure. This is why modern discipline systems fail. They rely on excitement, novelty, and motivation. Musashi relied on monotony. Monotony is where ego dies. The ego wants variety. It wants recognition. It wants stimulation. Musashi starved it. And when ego starves, discipline becomes clean. Clean discipline does not need validation. It does not ask for results immediately. It does not panic when nothing seems to change. It continues. This is the first layer of invincibility. Not strength, not confidence, reliability. Musashi became reliable to himself. And once you are reliable, you are dangerous. Because you no longer depend on conditions. Weather cannot stop you. Emotion cannot stop you. Circumstance cannot stop you. The code runs regardless. This is why Musashi could fight exhausted, train injured, remain calm while others panicked. His actions were not reactions. They were executions of pre-written law. Most people live reactively. They respond to life. Musashi imposed order on life. This chapter marks the first shift you must make. Stop asking how to become more motivated. Ask how to remove the need for motivation entirely. Stop asking how to push harder. Ask how to design a system that does not require pushing. This is not about becoming harsh. It is about becoming stable. Stability outlasts intensity. Musashi did not win because he tried harder. He won because he never stopped. And he never stopped because stopping was never an option written into the code. In the next chapter, we go colder. Because once discipline is understood as code, the next step is to remove choice itself. And when choice disappears, self-control becomes automatic. Chapter 2. The removal of choice. Choice feels like freedom. Musashi understood it as weakness. Every choice creates hesitation. Every hesitation creates space. And every space invites collapse. Most people believe they fail at discipline because they lack strength. Musashi saw something colder. They fail because they allow themselves options. When you wake up and ask yourself whether to train, you have already surrendered authority. The moment a decision is open to debate, discipline becomes a suggestion. Musashi did not argue with himself. He did not persuade. He did not negotiate. He removed the discussion entirely. This is the core of his discipline code. Eliminate choice at the behavioral level, not by intensity, by structure. Modern discipline tells you to push harder. Musashi redesigned life so pushing was unnecessary. He understood a truth most people resist. Willpower is fragile. It collapses under hunger, under fatigue, under emotion, under fear. Structure does not. So Musashi built days that allowed no alternatives. Training occurred at the same hour. Practice followed the same sequence. Movement repeated the same patterns. Meals were simple. Sleep was regulated. Not because he lacked imagination, but because imagination interferes with execution. Monotony was not accidental. It was the weapon. Repetition without variation starves the ego. The ego feeds on novelty, on options, on the illusion of control. When every day looks the same, the ego loses leverage. It cannot bargain. It cannot delay. It cannot pretend tomorrow will be different. It either submits or dissolves. This is why Musashi's discipline did not burn out. Most people chase motivation. Musashi removed the need for it. He did not rely on feeling ready. Readiness was irrelevant. Action occurred because the structure demanded it. This is what modern minds find uncomfortable. We are taught that choice equals freedom. Musashi demonstrated that excess choice equals paralysis. Every decision consumes energy. Every internal debate creates friction. Every maybe later weakens resolve. Musashi conserved energy by eliminating decisions. This made him cold, efficient, unwavering. People mistook this for rigidity. It was precision. A blade does not ask which direction to cut. It cuts where it is aimed. Musashi aimed his life. Most people live reactively. They respond to mood, to circumstance, to distraction. Musashi lived predecided. His actions were determined in advance. This eliminated hesitation. And hesitation is where fear enters. Fear requires time. Time to imagine failure. Time to invent excuses. Musashi shortened the distance between intention and action to zero. When the moment arrived, action followed immediately. Not because he was brave, because bravery was unnecessary. There was nothing to consider. This is the shift most people never make. They wait to feel aligned. Musashi aligned the environment instead. When you eliminate choice, discipline stops being personal. It becomes mechanical. And mechanical systems do not argue. They execute. This is why Musashi could train when bored, practice when injured, continue when uninspired. Emotion had no authority. Emotion was not consulted. This feels extreme because it violates a modern myth. That flexibility is strength. Musashi proved the opposite. Constraint creates speed. Narrow paths create momentum. When the rules are strict, action becomes effortless. This is why his discipline scaled under pressure. Under stress, most people collapse because they rely on decision-making. Stress impairs judgment. Musashi removed judgment from critical moments. He trained until behavior was automatic. Modern neuroscience confirms this. Under threat, the brain defaults to habit. Musashi ensured his habits were unbreakable. He did not train conscious control. He trained the subconscious. This is where invincibility begins. Not in moments of intensity, but in days that feel empty. Anyone can be disciplined during excitement. Very few remain disciplined in boredom. Musashi chose boredom. Boredom is where structure is tested. Without praise, without urgency, without visible reward. His discipline did not depend on meaning every day, only obedience. This chapter carries a warning. If you still rely on choice, you are not yet disciplined. You are negotiating. Negotiation always ends in compromise. Musashi accepted none. He designed his life so the correct action was the only action available. This is not extremism. It is inevitability. And inevitability is the foundation of true self-control. In the next chapter, we move deeper, from removing choice to commanding impulse itself, where desire no longer interferes, where action obeys without resistance, where discipline becomes internal law. Chapter 3. The elimination of choice. Choice feels like freedom. Musashi understood it as instability. Every choice introduces delay. Every delay introduces doubt. And doubt is where discipline collapses. Most people believe self-control is about making the right decision again and again. Musashi saw that as a losing game. The mind is not built to decide endlessly. It is built to follow structure. When you wake up and ask yourself whether to train, you have already surrendered authority. The question itself is weakness. Musashi removed questions from his life, not by becoming rigid, but by becoming precise. Once a path was chosen, alternatives were destroyed. Not emotionally, practically. This is the core of his discipline code. Remove choice at the behavioral level. Modern systems try to strengthen willpower. Musashi eliminated the need for it. Willpower is unstable. It depends on sleep, food, mood, stress, and confidence. Structure does not. So he built days that required no decisions. Training happened at the same hour. Practice followed the same sequence. Movement was repeated. Food was simple. Rest was earned. Monotony was not a side effect. It was the weapon. Repetition without variation starves the ego. The ego feeds on novelty, on options, on preference. Musashi gave it none. When every day looks the same, the mind stops negotiating. It either adapts or breaks. Most people fear monotony because it feels empty. Musashi understood emptiness as clarity. Empty space removes distraction. Empty days reveal weakness. This is why his discipline endured. He did not test himself against temptation. He removed temptation from the environment. Most people try to fight desire internally. Musashi redesigned the external world. This is colder and far more effective. If comfort is nearby, it will be chosen eventually. If escape exists, it will be used under pressure. Musashi closed doors behind himself. Not metaphorically, physically. When it was time to train, there was nothing else to do. When it was time to endure, there was nowhere else to go. This created inevitability, and inevitability removes fear. Fear requires uncertainty. Choice creates uncertainty. Remove choice, and fear loses leverage. This is why Musashi appeared calm in situations that broke others. He was not calmer by temperament. He was calmer by design. People mistake this for stubbornness. It is not stubbornness. It is alignment. A blade does not debate which direction to cut. It cuts where it is aimed. Musashi aimed his life. Most people live reactively. They respond to feelings, to fatigue, to distractions, to circumstances. Musashi lived proactively. His actions were decided in advance. This shortened the gap between intention and action to zero. Hesitation is where weakness enters. Hesitation creates time for fear, time for self-talk, time for rationalization. Musashi eliminated hesitation. Action followed immediately, not because he felt ready, but because readiness was irrelevant. This is where modern minds resist. We are taught to wait until we feel aligned. Musashi aligned the environment instead. When you eliminate choice, discipline stops being personal. It becomes mechanical. And mechanical systems do not argue. They execute. This is why Musashi could train when bored, continue when uninspired, practice when exhausted. Emotion was not consulted. Emotion had no vote. This feels extreme to modern sensibilities. But Musashi was not trying to feel good. He was trying to become unbreakable. Too much choice weakens structure. Constraint strengthens it. When the path is narrow, movement becomes fast. When rules are strict, action becomes effortless. This is why his discipline scaled under pressure. Under stress, most people collapse because they rely on decision-making. Musashi removed decision-making from critical moments. He trained until behavior was automatic. Modern neuroscience confirms this. Under threat, the brain defaults to habit. Musashi made sure his habits were immovable. This is where invincibility begins. Not in motivation, not in inspiration, but in boredom, empty days, unremarkable repetitions. Anyone can be disciplined during excitement. Very few remain disciplined in monotony. Musashi chose monotony. He sharpened himself there. This chapter carries a quiet warning. If you still need to choose, you are not yet disciplined. You are negotiating. Negotiation always ends in compromise. Musashi accepted no compromise. He designed his life so the correct action was the only action available. This is not harsh. It is inevitable. And inevitability is the foundation of true self-control. In the next chapter, we go colder still. Because once choice is eliminated, the next illusion must die. The illusion of force. Musashi never relied on force. He relied on precision. Chapter 4, Precision over Force. Force is loud. It announces itself. It exhausts itself. Musashi rejected it. Most people believe power comes from intensity, from pushing harder, from overwhelming resistance through effort. Musashi understood a colder truth. Force creates friction. Friction creates waste. Waste creates collapse. Precision does not. Precision is quiet, measured, unemotional. It does not rush. It does not strain. It arrives exactly where it must. Musashi's discipline was not built on aggression. It was built on accuracy. Every movement had purpose. Every action had timing. Every decision had placement. Nothing was excessive. This is where most modern discipline systems fail. They teach you to push through, to grind harder, to outwork everyone. Musashi would see this as amateur thinking. Force is what you use when you lack control. Precision is what remains when control is complete. In combat, force makes you predictable. In life, force makes you brittle. You can push only for so long. Eventually, something gives. Musashi trained to remove unnecessary effort. He asked a single question of every action. Is this exact? Not intense. Not impressive. Exact. He did not swing harder than required. He swung only enough. He did not train longer than necessary. He trained with full attention. He did not discipline every part of life at once. He targeted pressure points. This is why his system scaled. Precision conserves energy. Energy conserved becomes endurance. Endurance creates inevitability. Most people burn themselves out trying to transform everything at once. Musashi changed one behavior until it became immovable, then moved to the next. This is surgical discipline. Cold, methodical, effective. Force demands emotion. Precision does not. Emotion clouds timing. It distorts judgment. Musashi eliminated emotion from execution. He did not train when angry. He did not rest when discouraged. He trained according to structure. This made his actions consistent. Consistency beats intensity every time. Intensity spikes. Consistency compounds. This is why Musashi could defeat opponents stronger than him. They relied on force. He relied on placement. The same law applies to discipline. You do not need to dominate every urge. You need to remove leverage. Most urges collapse when met with precise interruption, not resistance. Redirection. Musashi understood the human nervous system intuitively. When you fight an impulse head-on, you feed it attention. When you redirect it, it dissolves. This is why his discipline appeared effortless. He did not wrestle himself. He guided himself. This requires patience most people lack. Precision takes time to learn. Force feels powerful immediately. That is why beginners choose force. Masters choose precision. Precision requires awareness. You must know exactly where you are weak, exactly when discipline breaks, exactly what precedes failure. Most people avoid this level of self-observation. It feels uncomfortable. Musashi embraced discomfort. He studied himself like an opponent. He observed patterns, triggers, habits. Then he intervened with minimal input, small changes, exact placement. This is how discipline becomes sustainable, not by crushing the self, but by restructuring it. Musashi did not seek domination over his nature. He refined it. This is the difference between tyranny and order. Tyranny collapses. Order endures. Modern disciplined culture glorifies suffering. Musashi glorified efficiency. Suffering was not the goal. Alignment was. When action aligns with structure, suffering decreases. Effort drops. Resistance fades. This is why Musashi could endure for decades without burnout. He was not forcing transformation. He was engineering it. Precision also means knowing when not to act. Force always pushes forward. Precision waits. Musashi did not rush change. He allowed habits to set. He allowed identity to dissolve slowly. This patience made his discipline permanent. Most people rush because they fear stagnation. Musashi waited because he trusted process. Trust in process is rare. It requires detachment from immediate results. Precision operates on long timelines. Force demands instant proof. This is why force-based discipline collapses. It depends on visible reward. Precision does not. Precision is invisible until it wins. This chapter reveals a hard truth. If discipline feels exhausting, you are using force. If discipline feels brittle, you are using force. If discipline disappears under stress, you are using force. Precision does not disappear. It tightens. It adapts. It survives pressure. Musashi's unbreakability was not born from power. It was born from restraint, from knowing exactly how much was needed, and never more. In the next chapter, we go colder still. Because once force is removed, what remains must die. Identity itself. And Musashi did not hesitate to kill it. Chapter 5. The Death of Identity. Discipline collapses where identity survives. Most people believe they fail because they are weak. Musashi understood something colder. They fail because they are attached. Attached to who they think they are. Attached to how they want to feel. Attached to the story they tell themselves about effort talent, limits, and time. Identity is the hidden enemy of discipline. It speaks in subtle ways. I'm not that kind of person. I've never been consistent. I work better under pressure. I need freedom. This is just how I am. Musashi erased these sentences by erasing the speaker. He did not try to improve the self. He dismantled it. This is where his discipline system becomes unbearable for modern minds. Because modern culture worships identity. Find yourself. Express yourself. Protect your truth. Musashi did the opposite. He treated the self as an obstacle. Every identity creates behavior boundaries. Every label creates permission to stop. If you believe you are not disciplined, you will act accordingly. If you believe you are naturally intense but inconsistent, inconsistency becomes destiny. If you believe you are creative and chaotic, order feels like betrayal. Musashi refused all of it. He did not define himself as disciplined. He did not define himself as strong. He did not define himself as anything permanent, because definition freezes motion. He chose emptiness instead. Not spiritual emptiness, functional emptiness. A state where behavior is not filtered through self-image. This is the most ruthless aspect of his system. You do not ask, "What would someone like me do?" You ask, "What must be done?" And you do it without commentary. This is why identity must die. Identity demands consistency with the past. Discipline demands consistency with the path. These are not the same. Musashi understood that the past is irrelevant. Who you were yesterday has no authority over today's action. Only structure does. This is why he avoided comfort in reputation. Even after victories, he did not soften. Even after recognition, he did not adjust his habits. Even after mastery, he did not allow indulgence. Because success creates a new identity trap. I've earned rest. I've proven myself. I can ease now. Musashi treated success as a greater threat than failure. Failure humbles. Success negotiates. So he removed both. No pride. No shame. Only repetition. When identity dissolves, something strange happens. Discipline becomes lighter. Not easier, lighter. There is less internal friction. No part of you is offended by effort. No part of you feels deprived. No part of you argues for exception. Because there is no you left to protect. This is why Musashi could live harshly without resentment. Resentment requires ego. Without ego, conditions are just conditions. Cold is cold. Fatigue is fatigue. Pain is pain. Nothing personal. This is the level most people never reach. They want discipline to serve their identity. Musashi demanded identity serve discipline, and then removed it entirely. This is also why his system produces fear in others. A man with no identity cannot be manipulated. Insults fail. Praise fails. Threats fail. There is nothing to hook into. He does not need validation. He does not defend an image. He does not protect a narrative. He simply moves. This is what makes discipline invincible. Not intensity. Not motivation. Detachment. Detachment from comfort. Detachment from reputation. Detachment from self-concept. This does not make you empty. It makes you precise. Like a blade without ornament. Most people decorate themselves with stories. Musashi stripped himself to function. And function does not hesitate. If you still struggle with discipline, look deeper. Ask yourself this without flinching. Who are you trying to protect? The one who needs rest? The one who fears looking foolish? The one who wants recognition? The one who resists monotony? That protector is the problem. Musashi did not fight laziness. He killed the identity that needed comfort. He did not fight fear. He removed the identity that demanded safety. This is why his discipline did not crack under time. It had nothing to erode, no persona to exhaust, no image to maintain, only structure executing itself. This chapter marks a turning point. Up to now, discipline has been mechanical. From here on, it becomes existential. Because once identity dies, resistance disappears. In the next chapter, we move into the final interior transformation, where discipline is no longer enforced. It becomes law, internal, silent, unbreakable. Chapter 6, the law that cannot be broken. At this stage, discipline is no longer fragile. It no longer depends on effort, emotion, or belief. It has hardened into law. Miyamoto Musashi did not trust character. He did not trust intention. He did not trust strength of will. He trusted systems that function without consent. Most people live under emotional law. They act when they feel good. They stop when they feel resistance. Musashi lived under an internal code that did not care how he felt. This is the difference between discipline that survives pressure and discipline that collapses the moment life becomes hostile. Law does not negotiate. Law does not pause to ask if the timing is right. Law executes. Musashi understood that the mind is unreliable under strain. Fatigue weakens resolve. Hunger distorts judgment. Fear invents rationalizations. So he removed judgment from the equation. He did not decide each day to follow discipline. He built discipline so deeply into his structure that deviation felt physically wrong. This is where most people fail. They try to stay disciplined. Musashi designed a life where disobedience was unnatural. This chapter is where discipline becomes irreversible. Not intense, not dramatic, permanent. Musashi repeated the same actions until they no longer felt chosen. Waking early, training without variation, enduring silence, rejecting comfort. Over time, these actions stopped registering as effort. They became baseline. And once something becomes baseline, breaking it feels like self-betrayal. This is the psychological pivot. When discipline still feels hard, you can abandon it. When discipline becomes law, abandoning it feels impossible. Musashi trained until discipline was no longer something he used. It was something that used him. This is why his consistency outlived circumstances. Weather did not matter. Mood did not matter. Outcome did not matter. The law remained. Modern people search for freedom. Musashi searched for inevitability. Freedom feels attractive, but freedom demands constant choice. Choice exhausts the mind. Inevitability calms it. When there is only one path, the nervous system relaxes. There is nothing to debate. Musashi experienced peace not because life was easy, but because life was simple. Simple does not mean comfortable. It means clear. Clear rules, clear actions, clear consequences. This clarity allowed him to conserve energy, while others wasted strength on indecision. Musashi spent his strength on execution. This is why his discipline scaled. As pressure increased, his system did not degrade. It improved. Pressure exposes weak structures. Law grows stronger under pressure. This is why Musashi could function in isolation, under threat, and in prolonged hardship. His discipline did not rely on motivation. Motivation is chemical. Chemicals fluctuate. Law does not. Once law is installed, the body obeys automatically, like breathing, like balance. Musashi trained discipline until it lived in the body, not the mind. This is where unbreakability is forged. Most people think self-control means resisting urges. Musashi eliminated the need for resistance. Urges lost authority, not because he fought them, because they were irrelevant. This is the quiet brutality of his system. There is no drama, no internal battle, just compliance. The body moves. The mind follows. This chapter contains a truth that cannot be softened. If discipline still requires effort, it has not gone deep enough. Effort is a sign of instability. Musashi continued until effort disappeared. That required time. Months of monotony. Years of repetition. No praise. No validation. Only obedience. Most people quit here. They mistake boredom for stagnation. Musashi understood boredom as the final test. Anyone can be disciplined when stimulated. Very few remain disciplined when nothing feels rewarding. Musashi stayed. He stayed long enough for discipline to fossilize. This is why his system outlasted youth, emotion, and circumstance. Once discipline becomes law, it does not fade. It does not require renewal. It simply operates. And when law governs behavior, external chaos loses its power. This is why Musashi appeared invincible. Not because he was stronger than others, but because nothing inside him was unstable. No inner debate, no hesitation, no fracture. In the final chapter, we arrive at the last state, where discipline no longer feels like discipline, where law no longer feels imposed, where nothing can shake you, because there is nothing left to shake. This is the state that ends struggle. This is where transformation becomes permanent. Chapter 7. The State of Invincibility. Invincibility is misunderstood. People imagine it as dominance, as aggression, as the ability to overpower anything in front of you. Musashi understood something colder. True invincibility is not about winning every fight. It is about never being shaken, internally or externally. It is a state, not a result. By the time Musashi reached the end of his discipline path, there was nothing left inside him that could be destabilized. No hunger for validation. No fear of loss, no attachment to outcome, only alignment. This is where the discipline code completes itself. Most people are broken not by enemies, but by contradiction within themselves. They want comfort and greatness. They want discipline and indulgence. They want control, but also escape. These contradictions create fracture. Fracture creates hesitation. Hesitation creates failure. Musashi removed contradiction. His life had one direction. When direction is singular, force becomes unnecessary. You do not need intensity when there is no resistance. This is the final state. Action without friction. In this state, discipline no longer feels strict. It feels neutral, like gravity. Musashi did not feel burdened by routine. He felt supported by it. His discipline held him steady when chaos arrived. This is why he appeared calm in moments that broke others. Calm was not a personality trait. It was a structural outcome. He had trained his nervous system to accept discomfort as normal. Pain did not signal danger. Uncertainty did not signal fear. Effort did not signal strain. They were expected conditions. When the mind stops labeling discomfort as a problem, panic disappears. This is why Musashi could walk into uncertainty without tension. The body follows whatever the mind treats as ordinary. Most people live in constant micro-resistance. They resist waking, resist effort, resist silence, resist boredom. Resistance drains life. Musashi removed resistance. He accepted the terms of the path completely. Once acceptance is total, suffering collapses. This does not make life easier. It makes life clean. Clean systems do not waste energy. This is why Musashi's discipline scaled infinitely. The harder life became, the more it resembled his training. Others panic when life grows demanding. Musashi felt at home because he had already lived there. Invincibility is not the absence of pressure. It is the inability of pressure to change you. By the final stage of his discipline, Musashi no longer needed reminders. He did not stay disciplined. He existed in discipline the way a blade exists, as sharp. There is no effort in being what you already are. This is why the final transformation is irreversible. Once discipline becomes structure, relapse becomes impossible. There is nothing to relapse into. The old self no longer exists. Most people fear this. They are afraid of losing flexibility, of becoming rigid, of becoming less human. Musashi became more human by removing excess. Emotion still existed, but it did not govern. Desire still appeared, but it did not command. Fear still surfaced, but it did not steer. This is internal sovereignty, not suppression. Order. The disciplined mind does not eliminate emotion. It places emotion in its correct position, below command. This is what made Musashi invincible. Not skill alone, not strength alone, but a mind that could not be hijacked. You cannot manipulate someone who does not negotiate internally. You cannot destabilize someone who does not depend on external validation. You cannot break someone whose behavior is not mood-based. This is the final promise of the discipline code. Not success, not recognition, but immovability. A life that moves forward regardless of circumstance. This chapter ends with a question you must answer honestly. Are you still trying to control yourself through motivation? Or are you willing to build a structure so absolute that control becomes unnecessary? Musashi did not chase invincibility. He built inevitability, and inevitability always wins. In the final outro, we seal this path, not as inspiration, but as a decision. Miyamoto Musashi did not become invincible by trying harder. He became invincible by removing everything unnecessary. No excess, no escape, no negotiation, only structure. If you are waiting to feel ready, you will never begin. If you are waiting for motivation, you will collapse. Discipline is not something you summon. It is something you build. And once built correctly, it cannot break. If this video reshaped how you see discipline, subscribe to the channel and activate notifications. More systems like this are coming. And ask yourself one final question. Where in your life do you still leave an exit open? Close it. Until the next video.